About to talk small business with our contributor from Sydney. Her name is Angela Vithoulkas and she joins us once again. Last time you and I spoke, it was about how big can be bad, and you gave us a real insight into some of the things that big business is getting away with and how small business is getting clobbered over the head with it. Let's be a bit more positive as we look at 2021. I know you're smirking when I say things like that. I want 21 to be a better year than 2020, Angela, and with your assistance we can get there. But what are the sorts of things, with your background in small business, with your background in the council, in Sydney Council, what are the sorts of things we could be looking forward to seeing in 21? And I also want you to touch on China, because the impact of China is going to be like, you know, a set of headlights coming ever closer to us, and we're not going to be able to avoid it anytime soon. So let's talk about that. What should we be looking for in 21?
Look, I've come up with a short list of things to keep an eye out in 2021, George, that are relevant for small businesses and things that they need to keep an eye on as well, or make note of, ironically.
Examples?
Let's start with China.
Okay. Oh, you want to start with China? Righto.
I want to start with China, yeah.
Go on.
So, look, we've got the political little fighting. It's a playground fight at the moment.
No. It's saber rattling of the First Order.
It's a skirmish, right? It's misbehaviour on both sides. I, for one, am a little bit bored by the politicians, but I'm quite alarmed about the ramifications that we're going to have around businesses. Now, it's interesting that iron ore that we export to China is now hit a 7-year high in terms of price. And our federal budget had originally allowed for it to be about $60 to $70 a tonne, and I think it's up to $150 now, which is good for us because we need the money. However, our other industries that aren't big mining, with those, you know, top 4 earning all the money, those small business owners, where we've got problems now is with the wine industry, which we've all heard about, our lamb industry, the timber industry, and I think I've heard very recently this week, the coal industry. So if all of those industries get hurt very quickly, which they have been immediately, I wonder how this is going to have the flow-on effect, George, with the small businesses back here.
Yeah, the fallout is going to be, I think, extreme, and it's going to add to more of the problems, because as you touched on late last year when we were discussing so many things, you said wait till the government support dries up in March, and we have businesses facing a whole new series of challenges. Well, add this to that, and suddenly 2021 doesn't look all that exciting, does it?
It doesn't if you're the wine industry that exports 20% to China, and that's now been stalled, and you can't find new industries or new markets to sell to in a short time. So it's going to take years for us to have a plan B. But if there was small business running this, they would have already have had a plan B. Now, speaking of the help from ATO or the federal drying up next year or in 2021, it's interesting how we can expect, keep your eye out here, George. There's a lot of businesses, the ATO is going to be conducting flash audits of some of the bigger companies who have been taking JobKeeper and, ironically, paying out huge bonuses to their executives on top of that.
Okay, all right. So things to look forward to. Should we talk TikTok?
Well, okay. So we know that TikTok is infamous for those celebrities and influencers and kids being mesmerized by it. But TikTok is now building up this whole other small business side or business side. And companies now are in danger because they're allowing their employees to do TikTok pieces around their company and their brands. How long before that gets out of hand, George? Or how long before there's a bit of revenge TikTok from disgruntled employees?
Oh dear, that does send up a huge flare. And that's, I can imagine, having seen some things in the past done with in a very different fashion, I can only start to cringe at the possibilities that you've just lit a fuse on. Once again, thank you for your contribution in 2020. It's been super. And to you and
Great
yours,
New Year.
we look forward to catching up with you very, very soon. All the best. Angela Vithoulkas, who is, as I said, our main contributor whenever we're talking small business and how small business has been suffering and how it needs to hit the reset button and a big reboot for 21 to make sure that everyone gets a fair shake